Hey, hey, Tampa Bay. How are you on this beautiful Monday? It's 11 a.m., so it's time for my live show. I'm Denise O'Berry, and I'm thrilled to have you here today. And if you're not in Tampa Bay, if you're in other places around the world, I love that too. So let me know where you're from if you're watching live. Today's show is going to be on an interesting topic. It's one that is a topic that comes up, it seems like all the time in the business groups that I participate in. And it's really a point of contention for some business owners. We're going to be talking about credit card fees. Are they a blessing or a curse to your business? And that is accepting credit cards in your business for purchases. There was, what started this off in one of my groups was someone who just was really, really upset about what it was costing her for people to pay her to use her services. She said that she paid thousands upon thousands of fees to credit card processors in order to do business with people, and that she was thinking about imposing a surcharge on those people because some of the people that she does business with charge surcharges. Well, that's led to a bunch of different discussions. I know that number one, up front, surcharges are frowned upon by the credit card companies. So you need to be careful if you're going to do that. And number two, surcharges are illegal in some states. I know that last time I checked, they were illegal in my state, which is the state of Florida. But they're not very friendly fees either. If I knew that I was going to have to pay a surcharge in order to use a credit card at a company, I would probably go elsewhere unless they were the only company that I could do business with in order to get that certain thing that I was getting. One of the things that's really exciting in today's environment, in addition to all the technology that we have at our fingertips, is the fact that, you know, you can be a small business owner in the middle of nowhere, be it in the United States or some other country, way out in the country somewhere with nobody close to you, in your small bedroom running a business, and you can process transactions from somebody on the other side of the world because of the technology that's available. To pay a small fee for that convenience, it just boggles my mind. It's wonderful. I think it's a wonderful thing that somebody on the other side of the world can purchase something from me, and all I have to do is pay a small fee for it. Most of the times, credit card fees run about 2.9%. Now, I'm talking about the most common processors that are online today, and that's PayPal and Stripe. So if you have a regular merchant account, we'll talk about that in a minute, then it might cost you a little bit more. But it's so convenient. I mean, think about it. What if you didn't have that option? What if the only way for somebody to pay you was to send you a check, and you were in the United States and somebody in Australia wanted to buy something from you? They'd have to mail you a check or some kind of certified money order. It would have to come all the way to you, probably take a week or two. I don't know how long it takes these days. And then you'd have to wait for the funds to clear before you could provide them with what they purchased. Good gracious, that would be a ridiculous way to run a business. So I particularly think that paying credit card fees is a blessing. Now, granted, yes, sometimes it makes you want to choke at how much the fee is when it's coming off the top of what you're selling your product or service for. But it's worth it in the long run. And really what it comes down to is it's the cost of doing business. And I know some people roll their eyes at that statement, but it really is. And think about it this way. If there was no PayPal or there was no Stripe, we'd all be at the mercy of the merchant processing companies. And I remember way back at the beginning, not the beginning of the internet, but when online businesses started becoming popular in the early 2000s, I'd say. And I got a merchant account then because I wanted to sell things online and over the phone to my customers. So the only way to get an account at that time was to go through somebody who sold merchant accounts. It was a salesperson that worked for a merchant processing company. And so what I did is I found somebody in one of my business networks, signed up with them, and it was a huge, elaborate process. This person had to come to my home where my office was, take pictures of me, my computer, the things I was going to sell, and then get me a merchant account. I had to get approved through them. And then I had to get, that was for Visa and MasterCard. Then I had to get separate approval from American Express. And American Express at the time was a little bit more than Visa or MasterCard as far as processing is concerned. The fees that I paid then were much more than they are today. Number one, I had the percent of sale, just like you do today. And I don't remember exactly what my percent was. I think it was somewhere around 3 or 4%. But in addition to that 3 or 4% per sale, I paid like a flat fee. And I don't remember exactly what that was either, but I believe it was like $2 plus 3% for every single transaction. And then on a monthly basis, I got charged a $10 a month statement fee by the merchant processing company. So those costs were a lot more than what you pay today via a PayPal or Stripe in order to take credit card transactions and payment for your products and services. So that's one of the reasons why I think it's such a blessing today. Plus, it's just, it just makes it so easy for you to go in business online. And anybody pretty much can be approved. So it's pretty cool to be able to do that today. And it makes it available to anybody who could have a business online. Now, here's a couple of other things. There was a question that came up about, well, governments charge us a convenience fee in order to pay our taxes. Well, yeah, they do, and they were wondering why couldn't they charge a convenience fee? Well, number one, let's talk about the government for a minute. The government doesn't make any money. The government only has money because they have our money. We give them our money. Some people give it to them with a little bit of nail biting, but we all give them our money. The government runs on our money. And frankly, I don't know about you, but I don't want to have to pay every Tom, Dick, and Harry's credit card fees, because we're the ones who would be paying for that, not the government. Remember, the government doesn't have any money unless you give it to them. So the government is allowed to levy a convenience fee when you want to pay your taxes with a credit card or buy your license plate with a credit card or something like that. And there are some exceptions from the credit card processors for businesses that can charge convenience fees. But you need to make sure and check with your credit card processor, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, and you also need to make sure and check that in your state it's a legal thing to do if you're going to consider that. From a customer service perspective, I don't think it's customer friendly at all. I really don't. So I wouldn't go there. I would just, if you want to compensate for it a little bit, increase your prices a little bit. Now, increasing your prices is going to increase your fees, but if you want to feel better about bringing a little bit more money in the door, then that's an option for you to use. Then there's a thing called surcharges. There's companies that I've heard of charging surcharges to people for using credit cards. As a matter of fact, I've seen it. Not in recent time, but a few years ago, there was a company that I was going to do business with. I didn't do business with them, that wanted to charge a surcharge for using my credit card. And credit card companies really frown on that. And as a matter of fact, they recommend that you report it to your state's Department of Consumer Affairs, because it's not really a kosher thing to do. I would personally just stay out of the fray of charging any fees at all. And if you have any questions at all, just don't forget to put a note in the comments. Now, one of the things that's started happening recently, and I totally love this, is with QuickBooks. I use QuickBooks for my accounting, and they have given me and many of their other customers the capability to use automatic bank transactions. So if I send somebody an invoice, I can give them the option of paying by credit card or paying by ACH. So all they have to do is transfer money from their bank to mine. And at least for now, they're not charging any processing fees for that. So if you have QuickBooks, or if you work with an accounting system that has that same option, that would be a way around the fees. I think it's wonderful. I know a couple of the companies that I do business with, my accountant and an online company that processes my leadership assessments, they actually use QuickBooks too. So when they've been sending me their invoices, they give me the option to pay them via ACH, and hey, I'm all for that, because if that money's going to stay in their pocket, I'm very happy for that, because I'm sure that they're not paying processing fees for that ACH, automatic bank transfer transaction either. So really, that's the skinny on what's going on for credit card fees. Seriously, look at it like paying for web hosting, or paying for whatever app you use, or buying a template for your website. It is the cost of doing business. And if you're paying thousands of dollars in credit card fees, that means your business is doing really well. So that's a good thing. It's like paying taxes. You know, the more money you make, the more taxes you have to make. It's an exciting thing, because you're making a lot of money. I know it can just really choke you up. Trust me, I do. But it's a good thing. It means your business is healthy. And that's one thing that you should be very proud of. So here's what I want to say to you. Use and consider credit cards to be the cost of doing business. And if you want to get a little bit more in your business's bank account, raise your fees instead of looking into the whole big deal about levying some kind of a convenience fee on your customers, because it truly is not customer friendly, and it may be against the laws in your state, and definitely, you know, a problem with the credit card companies. So don't go that direction. Now, if you have any questions at all about this information, please put it in the comments. I did find a fairly recent article about this topic, and so what I'll do is I'll leave a link in the comments for you. And please, in the comments, let me know, how do you feel about paying credit card processing fees? All opinions are welcome, no matter how you feel about it, but I would love to hear about it. All right, so make sure you leave a comment, and make sure and like my page. I go live every Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and I'd love to have you join me. I love to have great discussions with those of you that are out there and around the world. Thank you again for joining me today, and I will see you next Monday at 11 a.m. Have a good week.